Couple fifth-round picks for Seattle to discuss here on Seahawks Today. With the 166th selection, the Seahawks go with Tory Horton, the wide receiver from Colorado State. And then a few picks later at 175, they go with Alabama tight end Robbie Ouzts with their next pick. And I got to tell you, these two picks are very different from each other. And we'll explain what exactly that means. They're going to be asked to do totally different things here. Let's start with Tory Horton out of Colorado State. And Tory Horton, to me, is a fascinating prospect. Had he not had the injury that he suffered that ended his season a little bit early, it was a knee issue, then he would have gone way higher than fifth round. There's some incredible value here with Tory Horton. 6'2", 196. Seattle looking for some help of some big receivers to stretch the field since the departure of DK Metcalf, and Horton will be asked to get involved in the vertical passing game, you'd have to think, in that sense. And this was somebody that had great numbers prior to this year. I know he only played in 6 games, but in those 6 games he was good with 353 yards, a touchdown, close to 14 yards reception. But you look at the years prior when he was healthy, 2023, over 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. 2022, over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns as well. First 2 seasons were at Nevada, transfers within the conference, the Mountain West to Colorado State, and he showed up and showed out. You look at his scouting report, this is somebody that did great in PR work in the limited sample size. He also is a willing blocker, which you pair him up with Cooper Kupp, that'll make a ton of sense. They have some really good blocking receivers there. Flashed with the yards after catch ability, especially in 2023 when he had 6 yards after catch on average, 5.8 for his career. Forced 28 missed tackles. That number dropped to 3.9 plus 7 this past year of his average there. Good hands, only 1 drop this past season, 4 last year. Vertical speed, the ability is there, tested great. 2-time team captain. If he can stay healthy, this looks like a sneaky good pick for Seattle to go with Tory Horton there with their selection at 166. To me, I think it's a very good find. And now you add to this receiving core that brings in Cooper Kupp. You got JSN there, MVS. I mean, now you're cooking with some bacon grease here, potentially. And you got different ways to attack. I think with JSN as your number 1 receiver, Seattle would like to stretch the field with him more, not necessarily have to use him in the slot exclusively. And we'll see what they have dialed up with him. MVS, Cooper Kupp, now you have him. Jake Bobo is still around, Craycraft and others. As much as they have retooled this receiver room with moving on from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, this receiver room, at the end of the day, still ends up in pretty good shape. And I think Horton probably starts as your new number 4 receiver and has the chance to potentially pass up MVS when it's all said and done. So I like this pick. How would you grade the pick for Seattle going with Tory Horton? A, B, C, D, or F? I know there may be some injury concerns, but believe me, I understand where you're coming from. How would you grade the pick? A, B, C, D, or F? Wait in the comment section and let us know. Folks, this is why you subscribe to Seattle Seahawks Today. We're breaking down every single pick here on the channel, in addition to bringing you our daily news and rumors. And we've been live for the last few days with the draft coverage. We're also doing grades tonight, UDFAs tomorrow. It is a ton of content over the next few days, and we're closing in on 66,000 subscribers, less than 200 away from reaching that next milestone. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. That way you're the first to know when we have new content, when we are giving you the latest updates on your Seattle Seahawks. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications so you stay up to date. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. We got you covered there. So with Tory Horton, the wide receiver from Colorado State here, there's a couple negatives that I want to point to. He is strictly a receiver. He's not going to be used much on special teams. He doesn't have any reps as a gunner. He does need to polish his route running a bit. Play strength is an issue. His contested catchability is there, but we didn't necessarily see it a ton at Colorado State, and obviously there's going to be a big move up in the NFL. Level of competition jump is going to be something that he's going to have to deal with going from Colorado State, the Mountain West Conference, all the way to the NFL, and how he recovers from that knee injury that ended his 2024 campaign. But based on what we've seen, Seattle hasn't been scared with the injuries with some of these picks that they have made right now. The Athletic's Dane Brugler had this to say: Horton must tighten his route running and get stronger, but his fluidity, speed, and natural tracking skills can be weaponized by the right coaching staff. He projects as a rotational Z receiver, punt returner who can gradually push for starting flanker reps. So how about that there? Potential starter for Seattle that they may have found in the 5th round. Before we go any further in today's show, let's tell you about our sponsor. It is a new shaving company called House of Atlas. They gifted us one of their razors, and honestly, I'm kind of blown away. Not only does it look insanely sleek sitting in my bathroom, but it gives me an incredibly close shave. It feels weird to gush over a lineup of shaving products, but truly, House of Atlas makes some one-of-a-kind stuff. Not to mention their products are all designed to look like they should have their own tech reveal. Whether it's their razor, shaving cream, aftershave, all of it is fantastic. I've been liking their shaving cream. Thick formula that shows me where I'm shaving and leaves my skin baby bottom soft. Their aftershave is awesome, too. It doesn't burn like old school aftershave, but it does have a nice cooling sensation and smells really good. And for a limited time, they're offering 15% off your order when you purchase any razor kit and the before and after set, which includes the Precision Shave Cream and Calming Aftershave. Use code CHAT at houseofatlas.com to get yours now. That's HOUSEOFATLAS.com with promo code CHAT for 15% off your new razor kit and before and after set. Stop wasting money and time on shaving products that don't look good, aren't effective, and cost way too much. Visit houseofatlas.com today. Trust me, you'll love it as much as I did. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. House of Atlas, proud partner of Seattle Seahawks Today. So then with the 175th pick, Seattle takes tight end Robbie Ouzts. And I'll be frank with y'all, there's not a whole lot here with Robbie Ouzts, especially as a receiver. The guy's got a hell of a mustache. I mean, like Ron Burgundy would be proud of that stash. But the production is not there. He's a big dude. I mean, he suits the stash at 6'3", 274. You wouldn't want to mess with this guy in a parking lot. He rarely was thrown the football his direction, but when he was, it was good. 8 catches out of 10 targets, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns, 13.5 yards a reception. And there's already discussions that, hey, yes, he is primarily a blocking tight end. And Seattle has some plans for an H-back, fullback role in this new Clint Kubiak offense. Maybe Robbie Ouzts is going to do that as opposed to actually playing the pure tight end position, which would seem to make sense. And this was the tight end room going into the draft. You added Elijah Arroyo to the mix, and now you bring in Robbie Ouzts here. I don't think Ouzts really gets much time as a true tight end. I think this is a pure blocker is what he is. And maybe there's a role they have in mind. Obviously, there was something that intrigued this Seahawks team about Robbie Ouzts to make this selection when they did. But if we're going to be frank, it's probably a reach. I think this is somebody that you probably could have gotten as a UDFA, but at the 5th round here, there's some confidence that they're seeing with this selection. More on Robbie Ouzts from the Athletic's Dane Brugler. Ouzts is a throwback player with a gladiator mentality. Okay, I'm starting to buy in now. He would have more opportunities in the NFL offenses of 30 years ago. Well, Clint Kubiak's offense kind of goes along those lines. But he has the chance to make a roster as an H-back sniffer and goal line tight end. Okay, well, that adds up then. That adds up. Exactly what we're talking about. So this one is, I think, a draft pick where you say to yourself, okay, the other picks have been so good. Trust us on this. That's what John Schneider is saying. We talked to Clint. This is a guy they identified. We got a role carved out for him. It's a trust thing. And I'll give the benefit of the doubt based on what I've seen with the other picks. To recap Seattle's selection so far in the draft, they began this thing with another great mustache in Gray Zabel. I guess stashes are in Seattle. Maybe they're all using House of Atlas or something with these stashes they got going on. Nick Emanwari, the safety from South Carolina. I had a first-round grade on him. You got him at 35, traded up for him. Great pick. The other tight end, Seattle selected, Elijah Arroyo, more of a natural tight end, a pass-catching tight end. He's the 50th pick. Then you go Jalen Milroe, quarterback from Alabama. Not expecting him to overtake Sam Darnold's job by any stretch of the imagination anytime soon. But I do think that there's some packages you can get involved with. He can be a very good backup, and maybe someday he could potentially be your long-term starter. Then you go Riley Mills. We don't even know if he can play this year, but it's somebody that you're looking at saying to yourself, hey, sure, he's coming off the injury, but he would have been picked in probably rounds 2 or 3 had he stayed healthy. There's a lot of talent there, and it provides him depth at that position. And then these two selections we talked about, Tory Horton, same kind of thing like we talked about with Mills. Had there not been an injury, he would have gone much higher, and he fills a big need at the receiver role, especially with a big receiver. And then Robbie Ouzts, one where they just have to trust and see where they go. They have something in mind. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the pick, but I can be proven otherwise. We'll see. Who do you want the Seahawks to draft next? Give me a name in the comments section that you would like to see for Seattle when it's all said and done. Still got plenty more picks ahead with the 6th round and the 7th round. Weigh in the comments section. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the channel.